Hello. This is your boy, the Almighty One, bringing you a video. This video is actually indeed special. But before I begin, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the video. Please smash those likes, hit post notification bell, because when I make these great videos from me to you for your enjoyable pleasure, you're able to enjoy these videos and like what I give to y'all, and nothing better can come up with that. I just pray hope that you guys smash those likes, and please share this video, because that's what's most important to me. My mission is to get my subscribers up over 500, and maybe one day get over 1,000. I won't claim came to 1,000 once, but that was like 3 years ago. A lot of people, I think I had like 700 subscribers, and within 700 to 400. Well, actually 700 to 300 in a matter of months, days, and weeks. So now I'm kind of gradually getting back up there, and I hope that you guys continue to do as I ask. Like I'm just asking, to share the video. Please smash those likes and do what you need to do to help this video and help this channel grow. All right, now let's go ahead and jump right into it. I post on YouTube, and I also post on social media about the NFL draft, which is apparently a few days away now. The NFL draft is, I think it's next week. No, it's 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from today. The NFL draft is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Back then, the NFL draft used to be 2 days. Friday used to be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, but Roger Goodell changed it up about 10, 15 years ago, and it's been kind of screwball like that ever since. So it's Friday where they do the first round and second round. Saturday is the third, fourth, and fifth round, and Sunday the sixth and the seventh round. It's been like that for quite a while now. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And the reason why I made this video. All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the NFL Draft Magazine. Oh yeah, never mind the wrinkles. This is the way the magazine came to me through mail, wrinkled pages. So I don't know the word about it, but anyway, as you can see what it says, generational talent. What it says, Carter, Hunter, often intrigue options at top, and this is which QB will it be, Sanders or Ward. That's what it says there. But anyway, and then so they go ahead and open it up and get you guys some specific details of why the video is made. Okay, here we go. Like I said, it's divided in certain positions. The quarterback, then running back. The quarterback is right here. That's quarterback right here. And there's your running back right there. And what it says overview. 2024 quarterback class was historic. 24 now, that's last season. With 6 drafts in the first 12 rounds, this year it appears that 2 will hear their names called in the draft first night. Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, which is Deion Sanders' son, separate themselves as the clear front runners, but there are several players who could be drafted on day 2 that could end up starting games at some point in their careers. And here are the quarterbacks right here. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Monroe, Kyle McCord, Jackson Dart, Will Howard, Tyler Shough, that's Shough, Quinn Evers, which is Ewers, Dylan Gabriel, and Max Browser. Now, respectively in height, 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", 6'5". That's Tyler Shough. He's the tallest. 6'1", 5'11", 6'2". And only Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are predicted to go in the first round. But there's no guarantee for Shedeur Sanders. So that's still a debate. Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, respectively, are from Miami and Colorado, and the other guys are from Alabama, Syracuse, Ole Miss, Ohio State, Louisville, Texas, Oregon, and Minnesota. And they all predicted to go between the second and the fifth round. All right, now we're going to the running backs. Overview. After a relatively down year at the running back position this year top crop is much more promising and deeper at the top of the class. There's no doubt we'll hear a first round within the first 10 to 15 rounds in Austin Gentry. Now Gentry is a legitimate first round draft pick, probably only running back drafted in the first round this season. But at least two other players could be in first round consideration. This is a good year to need a running back in the first 3 rounds. Okay, here we go. Names respectively. Like I mentioned, Alshon Gentry, Omarion Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Damian Martinez, Travion Henderson, Devoneer Cam Gatetubu, Quinshawn Judkins, J.R. Giddens, and Ole Gordon III. And their height, in the order that I named them: 5'8", 5'11", 6'1", 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", 5'9", 5'11", 6'0", 6'1", and look like Omarion Hampton and Alshon Gentry are the other two running back that they could hear their names called in the first round, and the rest of them are gonna be it says Caleb Johnson could hear his name called in the first round as well, and the rest of them are gonna be second to fourth round draft picks. All right, the next two positions are wide receiver and tight end. Wide receiver, tight end. All right. Overview. This year, group of wide receivers don't quite match up to last year's incredible top end talent and overall depth. But there are some really good receivers both selected on day 2 of the draft after the top few names go off the board. There isn't a consensus top wire this year, and most scouts expected the first one to be taken outside the top 10. So here we go. Is it Tetatora, McMillan, Ibuka, that's his name. I think I might have butchered his name. Matthew Golden, Luther Burden III, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Royals, Jalen Noe, Savion Williams, Alec Eomanor, and Jack Betch, respective size: 6'4", 6'0", 5'11", 6'0", 6'4", 6'0", 5'10", 6'3", 6'1", 6'1", and only 3 are predicted to go in the first round. That's the Millen dude, who number 1, and then Egbuka and Golden. Those are your top 3. And Luther predicted to be a first round. He could be a late first round, early second round draft pick, and everybody else will be taking the 4th round. Okay, here we go. Now, tight ends overview. Only one tight end was drafted in last year's first round. Georgia's Brock Bowers. Coming into the year, Carlton Loveland was the constituent top tight end, but Tyler Warren set plenty of Penn State records, while Bowling Green's Harold Fannin Jr. set several NCAA records for his breakout season. With that being said, this group could have 6 players drafted inside the top 100. And here they go. I mentioned 3 of them I already mentioned already. Tyler Warren, Carlton Loveland, and Mason Taylor, along with Elijah Iroro, Harold Fannin Jr., Garnier Ham, Terrence Ferguson, Oronde Gaddison II, and Thomas Fidon II, and Mitchell Evans. Here's their sizes, their height. 6'5", 6'5", 6'5", 6'5", 6'3", 6'5", 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 6'5". He only got a 6'3" and taller. Okay. Penn State and Michigan is Carson Loveland and Tyler Warren. Those are your top two tight ends that could take in this coming draft, along with the other guys that could be second to sixth round draft picks. So they're saying it will be no tight end taken in the sixth round. I mean, after the sixth round comes to an end. Okay, here we go. Tackles, guards, and centers. Tackles, guards, and centers. Okay, overview. As opposed to last year's class, this year's group of tackles isn't all set to play that position in the NFL level. And the free agency deal to second and third tier tackles reflect that. LSU's Will Campbell has sub 33-inch arms, and several of the top offensive linemen will have positional flexibility at the next level, which makes ranking this group even tougher. Okay, here we go. Will Campbell, Josh Simmons, Amar Membo, Kevin Banks Jr., Josh Connolly Jr., Charles Grant, Oronte Ersery, Cameron Williams, Emory Jones, and Watt Miller. Here's their sizes. 6'5", 6'4", 6'4", 6'5", 6'4", 6'4", 6'6", 6'5", 6'5", 6'6". Okay. Will Campbell, Josh Simmons, Amar Membu, Kevin Banks, and Josh Connolly are your first round, are your top 5 first round picks, and the other guys will be second to fourth round. Okay, guards and centers. The overview. This center class isn't particularly strong, especially compared to last spring, but a number of players could have been included in this group from the tackle class. Building a strong interior line isn't highly valued at the top of the draft, but there are 2 potentially more players who could go in the first round, but there are future starters even into the beginning of day 3. Okay, here the guys' names are. Tyler Booker, Donovan Jackson, Marcus Embo, Gray Zobel, Tate Ratledge, Jonah Sadovania, Jared Williams, Joshua Gray, Jalen Rivers, and Miles Frazier. Here's their sizes. 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", 6'5", 6'5", 6'5". And Tyler Booker and Donovan Jackson, along with Marcus Embo, are the only 3 guys that are going to be between first and second round picks. And everybody's going to be second round on down to the fourth round. All right. Edge rushers and defensive linemen, my favorite positions. Defense. Edge rushers, defensive tackles, defensive linemen, which means defensive tackles and defensive ends. Here we go. Overview. Because of historic quarterback class last spring, the first defensive player and edge rusher overall didn't come off the board until the middle of the first round. We won't have the same problem this year, with as Abdul Collar, Shamar Stewart, and Mike Green are all in the top 10 discussion. As many as 7 edge rushers could hear their names called in the first round. May have a point there. Okay, I mentioned 3 of them already been mentioned already. So along with Mikael Williams, Nick Gordon, James Pierce Jr., Donovan. I'm there gonna say Donovan Koo, because he has a long E name. I'm there gonna say Donovan Koo. JT Lua, Landon Jackson, and Brandon Quinson. Here's their sizes. 6'3", 6'5", 6'3", 6'5", 6'2", 6'5", 6'2", 6'4", 6'6", 6'3", and Abdul Collar, Shamar Stewart, Mike Green, Mikael Williams, and Nick Galton are and on with James Pierce. Well, from Abdul Carter to Mikael Williams are your certified first round draft picks, but Nick Galton and James Pierce are predicted to be late first and early second round draft picks. Okay, here we go. Defensive lineman overview. Looking at the free agency spending, a cream of crop among interior defensive linemen receive a major payday, but teams will be eager to sink their teeth into the deep defensive line class, and it will be one of the few positions in high demand when the draft rolls around. 11 or 12 players could be drafted from this group in the first 3 rounds. And here we go. Mason Graham, Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, Tariq Williams, Kenneth Grant, Darius Alexander, T.J. Sanders, Alfred Collins, Omar Norman Lott, and Dion Walker. Okay, here are their sizes. 6'3", 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'5", 6'1", 6'7". Dion Walker tallest of all of them. Okay, and Mason Graham, Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, and Tariq Williams are your first to late second round draft picks, and the rest of them are second to fourth round picks. Okay, getting close to the end. I want the end now. We got linebackers and cornerbacks. Linebackers, cornerbacks. Overview. 2 of the top 15 players in this class are off-ball linebackers, a position that saw its value enhanced with the Eagles bringing back Zack Baun. The need for 3 down backers is more important as ever with running backs becoming more value and different makers at tight end being a premium. This class of top heavy, but at least 2 players will be drafted in round 1. And here we go. Jalen Walker, Jaheed Campbell, Demetrius Knight Jr., Carson Wegler, Chris Paul Jr., Baron Carter, Danny Dortman, Shamar James, Smale, it's S-M-A-E-L, it's either Smale or Small. I'm going to say Small. Small Morton Jr. and Jeffrey Bossa. Here's their height. 6'1", 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 6'0", 6'1", 6'3", 6'1", 6'2", 6'1". And the only 2 that are first round draft picks is Jalen Walker, and Jaheed Campbell, Georgia, Alabama, respectively. The rest of them are going to be second to fifth round draft picks. Okay, cornerbacks overview. Coming into the year, it was a 2-horse race at the top between Travis Hunter and Will Johnson, but the former separated himself with an unbelievable final season with Colorado. Those 2, the board is stacked differently depending on who you ask, with a few names dealing with injuries still up to 4 players who could get it and they want the draft. And here they go. 2 guys I already mentioned. I'm going to go with Siobhan Rivera, Jardine Barron, Maxwell Harrison, Benjamin Morrison. I get this as Azaryeh Thomas, Trey Amos, Quincy Riley, and Jacob Parrish. Here's their sizes. 6'0", 6'1", 6'1", 5'10", 5'11", 5'6", 6'1", 6'0", 5'10", 5'9". And here the 3 that's going to be considered first round draft picks. They got 4 of them so far. That's Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Siobhan Rivera, Jardine Barron, and Maxwell Harrison. Those are your. Well, stop at Barron. Barron and the other 4 guys that I mentioned will be 4th first round picks, but Harrison and Morrison would be late first, early second round draft picks. The rest of them will be second and third picks. So it will be no cornerback drafted after the 4th round, according to this book. Okay, and last and final one, which is safeties. Here we go. All right. Overview. The safety position in this year's class is strong depth-wise, but not as strong at the top as last spring's group. There are some significant difference makers here, and the mid-round prospects have a chance to outplay their draft spots. Safety isn't typically valued in round one, but two players have a chance to go within the first 32 selections. And here we go. Malachi Starks, that's the one the Eagles are looking at. Nick Amorori, Andrew Makuba, Alexander Watts, Billy Bowman Jr., Jalen Reed, Kevin Winston Jr., Jonas Sanker, R.J. Mickens, and Hunter Waller. And here's their sizes. 6'0", 6'3", 5'11", 5'11", 6'5", 5'11", 6'1", 6'0", 6'0", 6'2". And the only one that mentioned is Malachi Starks, who's a solid first round pick, but Nick Amorori is a late first, early second round pick. All right, here we go. All right, now you got the reports. Here's your top 100 right here. Take the top 100, the list of all the guys right there in top 100, and just talk about production and projections. And just draft debate. They just know who's debatable as far as all positions. So that's and what we're talking about right there. They got all positions of all from offense to defense hit here, and then it's trending running backs racing up draft boards. I guess after Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, they made Derrick Henry. I mean, Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry have made running back positions more valuable again. They're more. There will be some teams now that are gonna be doing some diligent searching as far as who they're gonna put in that backfield being drafted between the first and the sixth round. I don't think the running back will take it in the seventh round. That's just my opinion on there. But it does say it's here. The running back market in the NFL got significant boost with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry second X with different teams. So there you go, right there. That's all in a nutshell. And then it says assessing the underclassmen. There will be some underclassmen. All positions on offense and defense. Let's see what else here. Okay, then you got your draft list where it says your top 10 prospects underrated by the media. All the way on offense, defense, special teams. Talk about all positions from all schools in the conference, from the lower level school to the top school. Then it has all the teams, and then the draft position and total picks. So I'm not gonna mention all these guys because too many 32 teams. I'm not even gonna mention it, but I will go to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm gonna let you know what goes on there. Okay, let's start with that work with the New York Giants. I mean, with the Cowboys. Cowboys got 10 picks. They own the 12th overall pick. New York Giants got 8 picks. They own the 3rd pick. The Philadelphia Eagles got 8 picks this season, along with their compensatory pick. I think the Eagles gonna have 3 or 4 more compensatory picks this year, and they pick number 32 because they won the Super Bowl. And they said the Eagles are predicted to pick an offensive tackle, which is what a lot of people are favoring the Eagles to pick, go offense or defense. But I think the Eagles are gonna go defense in my position. They need either a safety or another edge rusher with some size, speed, and power on their side, because you got some guys this season who left. You got the wet man who he left. Then you got Brandon Graham, who just recently retired. And you got Milton Williams, who signed a very, very lucrative deal. Then you got Avonte Maddox, who signed with the who signed with the Detroit Lions on a 1-year deal. Then you got Oren Burks, who signed with the Bengals. I mean, we had lost a lot of guys specifically on the front end of the defense, always towards the back end. So the Eagles ain't gonna have to do that diligently to pick at least 4 or 5 starters between the first and the 4th round. If they can do that or replicate what they did last year or the last 2 years, the Eagles team would be either a number 1 or number 2 seed going into next year's draft. And the Washington Commanders got 5 picks, but they own the 29th pick. Because the reason why Washington got 5 picks this year is because they did a lot of signing guys in free agency last year, and they did it again this year. They even re-signed some players back, and they re-signed Zach Ertz to another 1-year deal. And that linebacker who played with Seattle, won a Super Bowl with Seattle, they re-signed to another 1-year deal. And they also traded some players and some picks away, but they also got some picks back, but not many picks. That's why they only got 5 picks in this year's draft, while everybody else got 10 or more picks. So that is what we're looking at overall. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video is going well over 20-some minutes. I knew they would because I had to read certain specifics in this book to get you some idea of what is about to go down between this year and going on into the NFL draft. The Eagles have re-signed some players, and they re-signed only a few players, but let a lot of them go, basically on defense. So that's why the Eagles, I believe the Eagles going heavy. I believe the Eagles' first, second, third, and fourth round picks are going to be heavily based on defense. The secondary, the linebackers, because we got Nakobe Dean, who went out with an injury in the playoff this year against the Green Bay Packers. He won't be depending on until like November or December of this year. And I said that a long time ago, the guy going to be out at least for the majority of the season. I said that, and now the Eagles got to pick another linebacker to at least back up Zach Bond and who else they're going to bring to play until Nakobe Dean returns. And they got to pick up, so they got to put at least 2 or 3 more guys on the front line of the defense, because like I said, we lost Brandon Graham to retirement, Josh Whalen gone, and we lost Milton Williams. Those are your 3 superstars that has left via free agency or retirement. But it is what it is, everybody. So let me go in the video. You guys enjoy yourself, and this is the Draft Digest recap. Well, not recap, but Draft Digest review. And again, I'm out of here. Peace.